Hey, Shane.
Yeah.
Were you ever like a kid?
I have a feeling that I was, but I don't remember it very well.
Okay.
That's just the truth.
Well, today we're talking about nostalgia, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm pretty sure I remember.
I know I was, but you may have just appeared. I don't know.
My memory's quite bad.
At the age of 17, you just showed up.
I just show up like the fucking Terminator.
Yes. Not like the human version where he's
Have
like,
you seen this, boy?
Yeah. Speaking of, this is totally off topic for what we're talking about. I just rewatched Terminator.
That could be nostalgia related.
I mean, kind of. I saw it when I was a kid. I saw it on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've only seen it in full like twice.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the original Terminator fully in one sitting.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen it 1,000 times.
We talk about T2 as like the best sequel ever made.
Yeah.
T1 is still so good.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy that's like.
But the jump in quality.
No.
Nuts.
You are absolutely right. T2 is a better movie.
Yeah.
But T1 rules. It's completely different. It's the same. He made his Alien and then he made his Aliens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where one's like this like weird slasher, unstoppable killer action movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, just rewatch that is on my mind.
Yeah, shout out Terminator.
To kick off some nostalgia movie I haven't seen in over a decade. But yeah, there has been in recent weeks and months a reevaluation of some things from my childhood that were probably in your childhood if you were ever a child.
Yeah, that one time.
With the documentary Quiet on Set, which is a incredibly tough thing that I don't even necessarily recommend you watch. I just think it's an important conversation that should be had.
Yeah.
So with that, it's also been on my mind just nostalgia and things that have held up and things that like, oh, I should remake that, or oh, I hope somebody remakes that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I thought that would be a fun conversation of like just talking about things from our childhood that we still look back on fondly or have watched semi-recently and think are still good.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Do you have any place in particular you want to kick off, or do you want to get rid of some of the like obvious ones
I'll
first?
get rid of some of the obvious ones. I mean, the first two that came to mind, which are like, the answers are boring because it's Toy Story and Lion King.
I was going to start with Disney as well.
Those movies are the best.
Yeah.
And like
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Aladdin holds up, guys. Not a surprise.
Yeah.
One that I think maybe isn't.
Guy Ritchie is such a great director.
Yeah. Oh no.
Have you seen
his? Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's entirely fine.
It's fine.
It's, yeah. A good cast.
It's
a
great
fun cast.
A great cast.
Anyway, but that movie. But no, like the Disney Renaissance that was happening like right kind of at the right when I was born, whatever. I grew up on those movies. A couple that aren't talked about as much, like Hunchback of Notre Dame, also very good. That holds up. Not many people talk about that one in the same way.
Oh, that is actually a phenomenal answer.
Yeah.
Hunchback of Notre Dame fucking rips.
Yeah.
There is one thing that has aged just like milk.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not what you think I'm going to say. It's the freaking gargoyles.
Oh.
They're so bad and they're so dumb and they add nothing but comedy.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, I love Jason Alexander. It's not shit against it. It's just like such a bad choice.
Yeah.
And then everything else about the movie is so serious.
Yeah.
And like so tough.
Yeah.
And then there's fucking gargoyles playing fucking I'm losing to a bird.
Yeah.
And like it's just the tone of that doesn't fit at all. But like Hellfire is maybe one of the best Disney songs.
Yeah.
Like that song, I mean, it's like that conversation is so adult.
Yeah.
And it's a kids movie and that rules.
Yeah. No, that's the Hunchback is a great one. Another Disney one that no one talks about, that no one even likes really, that I think is a good movie. Treasure Planet, dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since I was really young.
I watched it like a year ago because I remember loving it. I remember watching it all the time. It was like a road trip movie for me.
Yeah.
I always had it Whenever we go on road trips, we had the portable DVD players. So I would always watch it on there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Love that movie. I rewatched it. It holds up. Yeah. That movie is great. It has a really good soundtrack. The animation's really cool and fun. The style's really cool and fun. It's like legitimately scary at times. Like,
I think Bread Sword on YouTube. Do you know who I'm talking about? Bread Sword. I'm pretty sure his name is Bread Sword. I will double check this. He has a explanation of why this movie's actually very good kind of thing. And I watched that. But I need to go back and rewatch it.
Treasure Planet. Ethan, friend of the podcast, Ethan, loves Treasure Planet also. So it's that's a good one. I shoot, now I kind of want to rewatch Treasure Planet.
Oh shit! Now we're rewatching.
Other Holes. Did you ever watch Holes?
Okay, I did watch Holes. I am not the biggest Holes fan on the planet. Okay, it is Bread Sword, Treasure Planet, Disney's biggest mistake. That being said, it is in appreciation of what that movie actually is.
Well, okay, so funny story on Holes. I'm in a film analysis class like early on in my tenure in college, and we're all film students. Like, it's not just like a blow off class. Like, this is one of the main classes you have to take in my program. Yeah, to starting out. And it's like you walk in. He doesn't tell you what movie you're watching. He puts the disc in, hits play, and it goes. Yeah. And then the next class, he lectures over the movie as you rewatch it. Yeah. A great class, awesome, super fun. People say it will ruin how you watch movies. It doesn't. It makes how you watch movies better. The way he taught it, the way it was much more like, oh, you see these things and they help appreciate. Anyway, very cool. He put in Holes in the class of like 20 to 30-year-olds, just cheered. Everyone was so excited. He literally, this was my image of him. He went, "You like this one?"
That's so funny.
I think Holes is really good. I really like Holes. It scared me as a kid.
I think that movie is phenomenally cast.
Yeah.
That cast is stupid how good that cast is. Freaking Eartha Kitt as Madame Cerrone. Freaking
Sigourney
Weaver. Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
John Voight is in there, and I don't like John Voight, but he is good.
He is a prolific actor.
He is a prolific actor. I mean, like Shia LaBeouf before he went insane.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad for saying that because, you know, child actors, it's tough.
Yes.
But at the same time, he's also done bad things that he should be ridiculed for.
Absolutely.
So like, I didn't love it that much as a kid. I think because I read the book first.
Oh, okay.
And so I think it was like, I don't know, this isn't like the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
all right.
This isn't how I pictured it, so it's wrong.
Word.
And so it's like, I think I've kind of held on to that as, like, since then, like without like, that being said, I haven't watched it in years. So maybe if I rewatched it, I would feel very
It might be worth a rewatch.
Especially having completely forgotten the book.
Dude, that is an interesting thing I've noticed.
I remember the book quite well, actually.
It's an interesting thing I've noticed. As a kid, I had a way harder time with book adaptations of being like, this is different. As an adult, I couldn't care less.
Oh, yeah.
As an adult, I'm like, it's an adaptation. You can't do everything. You have to try to find the heart of it and go.
But at the same time, like for Dune, like I purposely waited to read the book until I had seen the movie. Well, that's because I really wanted the movie to be the thing for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I wanted that.
I get that. Well, that's true. And I'm trying to think like, the last time I read a book before and then they made a movie of it, it's been years and years.
For you, I would imagine like Batman. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like you said on our Lego Batman episode. Go watch the episode. You mentioned hearing when you read the comics, you hear it in
like Kevin Conroy's voice.
Kevin Conroy's voice. It's like
you know, it does inform it. That's true. That's true. Now the thing with like comic book movies is very rarely do they adapt individual books.
Right.
Usually it's like this is a concept from here, but more of the stuff from this one. Like when you watch The Dark Knight after reading a bunch of Batman comics, you're like, oh, this is the Long Halloween and this and this and this and this all rolled into one. Anyway, a book adaptation that I'm thinking of. Did you ever see or read Aragon?
No.
The movie.
Neither. I have seen neither nor read.
I liked the movie as a kid because it had dragons and swords and stuff, and I'm a kid and I like those things. Yeah. Then I read the book.
Still.
Yeah, I still like those things. Lord of the Rings is an obvious one that's held up. Like, but Aragon, that is one that I would love to see get a remake.
Yeah.
Like more than almost anything from my childhood, because I think there's a version of that could be like a Lord of the Rings-esque world with like big sprawling story building, and do it as a TV show or something, you know?
Yeah, that actually makes
I'd be
sense.
super into that.
Yeah.
Will it ever happen? Probably not, but he did just write a new book in that series, and it's been too long, so I can't read it because I'd have to reread the other 4.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to do that.
I've got 2 sequels in mind. Shrek 2 and Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
I think, look, there's been a big reevaluation of Shrek 2, and everybody's like, that movie is way better than it should be. Like, why is this movie that good?
Yeah.
And then Toy Story 2, I think it's gotten some of that.
My hot take is Toy Story 2 might be my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, that is a hot take.
No, and the only reason I can say that is when I think of my favorite Pixar stuff, it's like the weird opening of that movie is always stuck in my head. The mall stuff, like the polishing of like it's like
the fucking scene with the dude.
Yeah, ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
Like I love Toy Story 2.
Where were we? Me and Megan were out. Where were we? We were at I think we were at a hardware store. Yeah, we were at Harbor Freight, and there was like a machinist, like a wood machinist toolbox, and Megan was like, that looks like the box that the dude had in Toy Story 2. And I was like, it does, though.
And then you purchased it.
Yeah.
And it sits on your mantle.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, no, that one, like, I have... That movie's so good.
Yeah.
That movie's so much better.
A movie that was supposed to be a direct-to-home video.
It was supposed to be direct-to-home video, and they were like, wait, why is this fucking great?
Yeah, we're putting this in theaters.
Like, yeah, fuck this.
Spawns a franchise.
And
it's going to be like 5 movies deep.
Go look up the behind the scenes about how the whole movie got deleted. Just go watch that.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's crazy.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, if you're on YouTube and watching this, or on TikTok and listening to this clip, go find it because it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like Shrek 2 is great.
Yeah. Oh, Shrek 2 is hilarious.
I really like the original Shrek. It's good.
Yeah.
I feel like that has aged more poorly than
Yes.
Shrek 2 has, just because like the references are so much more dated.
And as I say, Shrek 2's references feel somehow like relevant in an actual like critiquing, you know what I mean? Like
they're just more timeless.
Yeah,
like they weren't so specifically pop culture of that era.
Yeah.
Like some of them definitely are. But then some of them are referencing the fact that like this was the pop culture of before.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, you know, they're in her bedroom and she's got a poster for Sir Justin.
Yeah.
You know, which like that is definitely a reference to, you know, the pop culture of the past. Now that has aged a little bit worse just because that movie came out 15 years ago, and Justin Timberlake was just a little older at that point.
Yeah,
and now he's way older. But yeah, I think a lot of the like references and a lot of those references I think have aged a lot better than the original Shrek.
Yeah.
It rules. Like Shrek 2 rules.
The animation's better.
So
it
much
introduces
better.
a lot more fun characters. Like,
and also a much like deeper story.
Oh,
like, without it being like dark.
No, yeah.
It's just like a tough story about like not being accepted or being different and not being accepted. I mean, it's like who's coming to dinner for fucking ogres.
Yeah, like fantasy who's coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrek 2 rules.
Shrek 2 fucking rules, man.
Let's just rewatch Shrek 2 now.
I rewatch Shrek 2 like every couple of years.
I have not
like
seen
100%.
it I haven't seen any of the Shrek movies in a very long time.
I watched Shrek 2 like probably a year ago. Like I watch it a lot. That movie
It's
rules.
great.
And, like out of nowhere, me and Megan will make a reference, and then I'll just go like, "All right, we're watching Shrek 2 tonight." Sorry. Yeah. She's like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
So good.
All right, what's your next one?
Other things. Did you ever? This might be a little after your time. Did you ever watch Phineas and Ferb?
I did not. Like,
dude, Phineas and Ferb is funnier as an adult.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, I can't deny all of the Phineas and Ferb conversation on TikTok. Like everybody, like the creator, the series creator or whatever. He's on TikTok and everybody loves him so much. And like apparently it was very good because I see people talking
Bowling
about
for Soup did the music for them, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But like that was one of those things that during the pandemic my sister was rewatching it. And so I would just see snippets and I was like, is this show like comedy gold?
Yeah.
Like there's the bit with I I mean, the one that everyone references is like some super insane thing. If I got a nickel every time this crazy thing happened, then I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
That's a really good bit. That's just a solid
There's
joke.
another Doofenshmirtz bit where he's like telling his tragic backstory. He's like, I remember it fondly, the day of my birth. Both of my parents failed to show up. And you're like, wait a second. It's like the entirety of that show is so chock full of like razor sharp humor in that way. And conceptually, it's also very funny. It's like one of those shows that every episode's the exact same, but they somehow mine new comedy out of it every time.
Right.
It's amazing. Phineas and Ferb rules, dude.
My version of that, which is probably slightly more boring, SpongeBob, man.
Oh, SpongeBob, yeah.
That show is so much funnier.
Vintage SpongeBob? Oh, yeah.
Like the first several seasons of SpongeBob. That show is freaking hilarious.
It had the potential to be like a Simpsons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It got more childish over time.
Yeah, it got more like weird kiddie humor.
Yeah, where it's like it started out really sharp and really funny, and like the visual gags were always really bizarre.
Like the one I remember is when they're on the Flying Dutchman ship and they're running through the perfume thing and it's just live action. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that where they played with the medium in such interesting ways for humor.
And they have done that in more recent years too.
Yes.
Specifically like those kinds of jokes they've done quite a bit. Or at least those kinds of just like experiments they've done quite a bit. But like, yeah, it's like anytime like you cut in on a close up and it'd be like horrifyingly detailed.
Yeah.
There's so many like really, really fundamentally great jokes on that show.
Yes.
That like it has gotten its flowers from friggin' millennials like me over the past few years. But yeah, man, SpongeBob deserves more flowers. I think.
Great show.
Great show.
Sweet Victory is a brilliant piece of music, and I don't even care.
That bit. Every year they're trying to make that the Super Bowl halftime show.
It's like, just hilarious. Do it, because it would work.
Yeah, because that song also shreds.
Yeah,
like
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Did you ever watch Speed Racer, the Wachowskis?
No, I need to.
Dude, that's a podcast episode.
Yes, it is.
Because as a kid, I didn't really like that movie.
Yeah.
And then I heard like Patrick Willems make a video on it, and I heard other people talking about it. So I bought like a super cheap Blu-ray of it and watched it with my sister, and I was like, holy shit, is this movie amazing?
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. It is so good.
Every clip of it that I've seen makes me go, why would people like this much? But I keep seeing people talk about how much they like it, and so I just
it is the definition of not being our reality, but being a reality. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it is the most hyper visual movie.
Yeah,
the transitions are insane.
Yeah.
The like emotional experience of the character it's like crazy. Look, is all the acting great? No, it's so melodramatic, and some of the actors aren't necessarily the best, but like John Goodman's in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, can't be that bad if John Goodman's in it and he's committed.
And it's got Matthew Fox in it.
It's got Matthew Fox.
And man, I would love for him to get more work. I love that man so much. Shout out Lost. This is for you, Lost. Lost. Another thing. Lost is actually a great answer.
There's been a little bit of resurgence on that recently.
I think people, that show is so much better than people give it credit. I think it lost its way a little bit.
And mostly because of the writer's strike.
But damn it, dude. And like, people hate the ending so much. And that is because they take the most surface level reading of what's happening and go, oh. I'm like, if you think about it for 45 seconds, you will like it more and understand it more.
I have always held to that too.
It isn't exactly what you think it is. It's not that. It's something different and much more profound.
Look, can I just say it real quick? Because that show's been out for well over...
Part of me wants to say no because Megan hasn't seen it yet, and I've been trying to get her to watch it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Like,
exactly.
We got to season 4, and then one thing we fell off, and whatever.
Exactly what he said. It's not what you think. Think about it in like a less one-to-one literal way.
Yeah,
and it becomes very meaningful.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And people are dumb. I think the last season has issues.
I think 2 or 3 seasons. The last 3
cut,
seasons become a little rocky, but there's still really good stuff in there.
There's still so much good shit in there. Like, part of me wishes that they just didn't feel like they had to answer everything.
Yeah.
And it felt like no, we gotta give answers for all of this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, did you really?
They're fighting the JJ method, you know what I mean? Like a little bit, and it's like
they had to pay the JJ check, you know?
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like that. It was like he cashed a lot of checks, and now they're paying the bill for it. You know?
And look, here's the thing: I like a lot of the answers they give. I think a lot of them are pretty interesting, or at least weird. And there are definitely ones that don't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of those shows you have to kind of go. Like my cousin, she watched it and she was like, "I'm just gonna watch and stop when I figure everything out." She watched the whole show.
Yeah, it's impossible to figure everything out.
But it's one of those things that I like. I like the idea of a show about Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's never really a conclusion because that's what Pandora's box is.
And I love that idea.
Like that's a cool concept.
And I wish the show was more that.
Yes. I wish in the end it was more that. Yeah. But Lost is great. Lost was one of those like shows I really got into alone because my mom has seen every episode except the last 2. And then it was on Netflix, and I was like, I'm going to watch Lost. And she was like, okay. And I got really into it.
Yeah.
I love
show
Lost.
Rules, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like season 2, I started watching like live. You know what I mean? Like I think me and my mom saw some reruns after season 1 was released. So yeah, by like season 2, I was every week it was on like me and my mom, and like I don't know if like my other family members were watching it with us, but I was like every week it was like that.
Lost is a mom show.
Yeah,
it's for moms.
I mean, hey,
in the least
Sawyer.
Sawyer's one of my favorite characters. Period. I think I love Sawyer. I love
like
Sawyer.
Sawyer though, but like Sawyer though,
dude. Why hasn't he had the biggest career ever?
Literally everybody on that show except for Evangeline Lilly, because she has had a great career.
Yeah, it's
like why truly have none of these people had phenomenal careers, because they're all such great actors.
They rolled a lot. The cast of Lost is just a crazy talent.
Yeah,
I mean the guy who played
John Locke.
No, he's been in quite a few things.
Yeah, no, Terry Quinn's a phenomenal actor.
Jin, what's his name?
I do. Yeah.
Anyway, he has been in a lot of things. He's in the Avatar show right now. You know
and he was in Hawaii Five-0 for a decade.
He's on a doctor show, I think, or was. But anyway, he's had quite the career too, but just nothing like crazy high profile in a way that I think he's talented enough for. You know what I mean? Like
like everybody on that show, just literally everybody on that show.
Saeed, what?
Oh yeah, Saeed. I can't remember his freaking name.
And that's the problem, is none of these guys became names. They were so stuck in Lost World, which is what happens with television. I mean,
it's like I don't know. Look, I know Matthew Fox. I know Terry Quinn. I know Evangeline Lilly.
Something Holland is Sawyer, but I don't know
his name. That was about to be my example. You know I don't know his name outside of Sawyer.
It's a bummer.
But part of that is the fact that he hasn't.
I mean, he was in a Mission Impossible movie for a second and then disappeared.
And like he's had like. He's been in a few other shows that like either got like just one season or just a couple seasons.
He pops up in Community for 2 episodes.
Really?
And dude, he's so good.
Amazing.
He plays the exact type of character you think he would, and it's awesome. Anyway, Lost is a wonderful, wonderful show.
Yeah.
Other ones for you? Do you have like?
Yeah, let me pull up my list.
I think for me, things that I don't know if they hold up because I haven't watched them in years, but things that I think of, like. Naruto, okay, actually Naruto does hold up, because Naruto for me was a show from my childhood that I thought was weird everyone was still watching in high school, and then I started watching it and I was like, oh no, I get it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z is that way for me. Dragon Ball Z holds up in such a fun McDonald's-y kind of way.
Completely different from the things that you're bringing up. Chicken Run.
Oh, Chicken Run!
Chicken Run rules, man.
I gotta rewatch Chicken Run.
Chicken Run. Me and Meg rewatched it less than a year ago.
On that note, Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
That Wallace and Gromit was going to be one of my things that I if we would like to see something get a sequel or get remade, Wallace and Gromit, I would love to see more sequels for.
Yeah,
I think Wallace and Gromit is so good. All of them, like the really old like OG like shorts, all the way up to Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Were-Rabbit is that movie is so funny and so good and so well animated. I would
Scream Factory just put out a Blu-ray of their the classic shorts.
Oh,
It's so awesome. I'm gonna get it at some point.
I love that.
They also put out Shaun the Sheep in its entirety, which is like awesome because Shaun the Sheep is also very funny.
I haven't seen it. Like it's been a bit for us
I've
for
never
years.
watched it in its entirety. I've watched like random clips. I'm like, this is like really clever. Like it's
Yeah.
a really clever. Anyway, but Wallace and Gromit, that's a great one. That is so good. I would love more of that.
Yeah. The other movie that I like legitimately love. Is it the best movie ever? Fuck no. Do I love it more than anything? Yes. And that's Surf's Up.
Oh, dude, Surf's Up rules. Hold up.
Surf's Up is so fucking good.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
The idea of a animated mockumentary is brilliant.
Hilarious.
It's so funny.
And it is just really good.
Yeah, like
the casting's phenomenal. Like just
who plays the chicken?
John Heater.
John Heater, that's what I thought. And then Jeff Bridges is in it. Like that is
Jeff Bridges
dude,
as what's his
essentially the dude.
He's the dude. It's not because Tank's the shithead.
Yeah. Z. Yep. Dude.
Yeah.
Good.
Zoe Deschanel as the hot penguin.
Yeah.
Which that's the thing. Things like that was like, man, I wish she was a character. You know what I mean? It's like kind of stuff like that where it's like, those are the kind of things where I think it falls. But it's also like a 90-minute Nickelodeon kids movie.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have time for everything. But damn it, that movie is so good.
Thing that held up for me in terms of like animated stuff, movie-wise, I'm trying to think if there's... Oh, Monster House.
Okay, that was going to be my other one.
Oh,
that's going to be the thing that I would like to see like get remade.
You want a remake of it?
I think the thing that hurt that movie was the weird animation, which like, don't get me wrong, I like the way that movie's animated.
Yeah.
But like the performance capture of that movie was like a turnoff for a lot of people. Because it looks weird.
Yeah.
I think that movie should have been remade. Like season 3 of Stranger Things, if that came out at a similar time, that movie would have like
done gangbusters. Yeah.
I really, really, really like a lot about that movie. And I think that movie could do for a remake or a sequel or something like that. Like, movie rules.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That movie's awesome. I watched that like randomly one night a couple years back and I was like, holy shit, is Monster House awesome?
Yeah.
Like,
Megan had never seen it. Like our first or second year together, she had never seen it. I was like, we're watching it on Halloween. I was like, that's going to be our Halloween movie this year. And we watched it. She's like, this movie's great.
It's awesome. Monster House rules. Another one for me that I grew up on more, we talked about this a little bit in the Lego Batman episode. Go take a listen. Is the animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited shows that are part of the Batman animated series universe.
Yeah.
Those shows are so good. Some of the best interpretations of every character they play with.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It is fantastic. Like really genuinely so good. I love both of those, and they've held up like phenomenally.
Yeah.
Even the animation style is still like the animation style is now being like done up with like shows like Invincible think they're doing it, but they're not.
Right.
Because those shows have dynamic lighting and interesting movement. And anyway,
shots fired. Invincible.
Invincible is my favorite comic of all time, and I think the show is not very good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
world's biggest Invincible hater over here.
Invincible TV show, comic book I love.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's be very clear.
Invincible show.
My hatred comes out of love.
And isn't that where hate always should spring from?
Dark. Anyway, something I want to personally remake.
Yeah.
They've done it a couple times. They've tried over and over again. I think they're working on one right now, but they keep doing the wrong one. Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Dude, they keep trying to remake Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin doesn't work as a movie because there's 5 main characters and Zordon and Alpha 5 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And it's all weird and crazy. It's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
If I were to, here's my pitch, studios, look me in the eye. If I were to do a Power Rangers movie, I would do Dino Thunder, the spiritual successor to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's 3 Power Rangers and Tommy comes back.
Fucking Tommy.
Tommy comes back and he becomes a Power Ranger later. You save that for the sequels, and it ends up with 5, but it's slow to get there.
Yeah, that's actually great.
Dude, you start with your 3 main characters, you age them up a little bit. Like, I would honestly do, like, the end of senior year, they become Rangers. And then the sequels is them in college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still about juggling response. It's still about, like, the young...
It's still about juggling.
Yeah, it's still about juggling.
The quad
they're juggling their morphers. It's still about like that kind of like life and this and getting in the. It's still about all this. It's still about a young person's experience being this thing. But like, that's what you do.
Yeah,
I would love to make that because I have this like deep fondness for the Power Rangers. I haven't watched a Power Rangers thing in years outside of the movie I watched for nostalgia reasons, and then the like 2017 remake, which is I actually think is a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
Bill Hader's in it. Bryan Cranston is in it. Naomi Scott is in it, who's now a big star. She's a Disney era star. Becky G is in it. Darcy, the Stranger Things, Billy from Stranger Things is in it.
Oh, is it Darcy?
I think so.
Oh. That makes a ton of sense. That's how you pronounce that dude's name.
Anyway,
for a long time, I thought it was pronounced very different.
I could be wrong. He's in it, and the suits look cool, and they're practical, and like, dude, that's a fun movie. It has a lot of issues, but like at its core, it works pretty well.
I heard that about that. Like people were like, it didn't do very well, but everybody who went and saw it was like, no, it's like good.
It's like a pretty look. It has, like I said, it has a lot of issues.
Did you see that they're doing a Power Rangers? It's a Transformers Power Rangers.
No, it's Transformers G.I. Joe.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive because they set it up.
I'm wrong.
They set that up in Rise of the Beast, and I was like, that's never gonna happen. And then at Cinecon, they're like, we're doing it. I was like, what do you mean you're doing it?
Amazing.
Like, it's fun. I can't be that cynical on that one.
There was like rumors of a Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover. And if I want that, I have to be okay with every other silly version of this.
Yes, dude. Honestly, put the Power Rangers in the MonsterVerse. Let them fight Godzilla,
dude. Or no. What's the one where they all combine and they become a big
Power Rangers? Voltron is what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, Voltron.
Yeah, put Voltron in there.
Well, because Power Rangers, they all combine to make a big Power Ranger, right?
Yeah, they're
different.
The Megazords.
Yeah.
They each have like individual ones, and then they come together to make the Megazord.
Yeah.
They call them their Zords and then the Megazord.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, Power Rangers is silly and fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. Radiant Black is a very cool comic book coming out right now that is very much like the transforming hero that like has the does the thing and transforms into the suit, and that's where his powers come from. Whatever. That's a thing people are mining. Do a Power Rangers movie centered for like a slightly older audience, not like adult. I'm not asking for an R-rated Power Rangers movie, but I'm asking for like just a PG-13 one.
Do a TMNT.
Yes,
like do a TMNT of it. You know,
I would want to make that. I would want to be involved with that and make that.
Do you see that they're talking about doing a TMNT Last Ronin?
That they are doing a TMNT Last Ronin. I think there's a game coming out too. And now look, I've read the comic. Does it need an R rating? No, I don't think so.
Oh, I didn't know it was R-rated.
The movie's going to be R-rated, which is like, I don't need that. But the Last Ronin is such a cool comic book. Yeah. I'm super into that.
That's cool. I'm excited for that too.
That's going to be a rad one. But yeah, the Power Rangers. That's what I want to. I would also love TMNT, a movie that's held up for me.
Yeah,
I really like that movie. One that does
the one from 04, right?
Yeah,
08?
08, something like 07, 08, something like that. The other one we did on our TMNT episode.
That movie's
Go
good.
give it a listen.
That movie's good. That movie's
cool.
good, guys. Like,
it's cool.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
Anything with the turtles for me is kind of held up.
Yeah,
I just love the Ninja Turtles.
That movie's good. That movie's like better than I thought it would be. That
movie's
quite good.
Yeah. Other stuff. Do you have anything else you want to see get remade, or you would like to work on just for like the sake of the love of it or whatever?
I think the two, like I mentioned already, I think the two that I would like to see either get sequels or get remade would be like, I would love a Wallace and Gromit sequel. I'd love more Wallace and Gromit. And then Monster House. I would love to see a Monster House remake in some capacity. Or like maybe a sequel, but like I think you could just, I think enough time has passed.
And motion capture stuff has gotten so good.
Or you could just not do it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you could do something weird and cool with it. Like,
I would honestly love an actual claymation Monster House movie. That would be awesome.
I really do love the like the attempt at making it look like claymation. Because again, I like the way that the movie's animated.
Yeah.
It's creepy in a way that works for the movie.
Yeah. That shot of him running out of the house at them is like still sticks with me. It's
so
scary.
good.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking weird and creepy in a great kid way.
Yeah.
Movie rules. I would love to see that get remade or get a sequel of some kind. Or
dude.
Something. I would love to see that. More of that world.
Yeah. Others. I'm gonna rattle off a couple quick ones for me. I don't think you haven't seen Avatar, The Last Airbender.
I've seen a bunch of it. I just haven't seen all of it.
That show, to say it holds up is like an understatement.
Yeah.
It is a capital M masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like to the point that I'm sick of they're doing a movie with the original creators, like an animated one, and I'm just like not that interested.
Yeah.
Legend of Korra is like good but not great, and from everything I have seen of the Netflix one, not into it. Of the Shyamalan movie, not good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But that original show, dude, every time, because I had rewatched it early in college because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. That was one of the first shows me and my like siblings watched like beginning to end every episode while it was airing.
Yeah.
And it was just so good. And like every time I rewatched it, I'm like, how is this better than I remember?
Yeah.
Like I'd pop in on random episodes that are like kind of not that, they're just all character based. And it's like it's a kid show and it is truly just a character. The lesson at the end is finding inner peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is a kid's television series. Nothing about this is flashy or silly.
Yeah.
It's like just beautifully animated and character driven and like actual cinema language.
Yeah.
Zuko, I think, is maybe the greatest redemption arc ever told.
Yeah.
It holds up so well, and that voice performance is brilliant. Hook is a movie. The guy that plays Zuko plays Rufio in Hook.
I forgot that's Rufio. I forgot.
I think there are a lot of people who do not like the movie Hook, and that is wrong and lame. I love the movie Hook. I've watched it as an adult, and I still love it. The food fight scene is one of the like things I think of as a kid of having just a particular feel and sense. Like I'm sitting in my house I grew up in early in the morning watching it on a TV on a specific couch. I remember this all. You know what I mean? Like it's such a felt sense.
Yeah.
Hook. Now, there's a million of these I could rattle off. Star Wars is held up. Indiana Jones is held up. Ghostbusters is held up.
The other one that I have on my list is like School of Rock. Like
School of Rock.
Everybody still loves that. You know what I mean? It's like it's not even.
I dropped my phone.
Oh shit! It's broken. No, I'm kidding.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, like School of Rock. It's like obvious. It's like I have some of The Incredibles. It's like it's just obvious how fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
The Iron Giant.
Iron Giant was on my list of like Iron Giant goes in the category of better as an adult.
Oh,
I appreciate that movie way more as an adult than I did as a kid.
I think there's a world where you could do some kind of sequel to that movie now. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
And it would have to be perfect.
And it would have to be Brad Bird.
And it would have to be Brad Bird. But I think there is a conversation to be had about the state of the world now through the lens of, get it? Because he's got camera eye.
Yeah.
But through the lens of the Iron Giant.
I could be super into that. The big one for me that I'm like, I don't know why it's been an obsession of mine for years, but I think this was like one of the first like shows that wasn't oriented at kids that me and my older brother watched as it was coming out together without our parents. You know what I mean? Like we were in like middle school or something, or I was, and he was just whatever.
Right.
We were young. Have you ever heard of Terra Nova?
Yes, I remember Terra Nova.
Dude, Terra Nova went one season and it has awful CGI.
Yeah.
Has a really cool like production design and like world building and stuff. The premise of Terra Nova is that the future is like depleted, overpopulated, no more resources. You can't even go outside without like breathers, and those don't even really work. So they send people to the past to save humanity and start over. But it's this like the lead of it is that in the future you can only have so many kids, so it's like a kind of about this family, you know, and he breaks out of prison because he had too many kids, and he like dives through the portal and makes it to the past, and you can't send anyone to the future. Once you're in the past, you're in the past. So they're like stuck with him.
Yeah.
So this family, and he becomes like this sheriff, and it's like kind of a cool setup for like an almost like western-y premise, like but with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You find out all this stuff about this like group that went back and they're trying to exploit the past, and it's cool. Like, it's like a fun, over-the-top premise. Its issues come from bad CGI and a tonal problem.
Yeah.
There are times where it's like pretty dark with like torture and stuff. And then there are times where it's like a silly family drama.
Yeah.
If you can find a way to have those two meet in the middle more.
Yeah.
And I also think Stephen Lang, the guy who plays Kittredge in Quaritch.
Oh, right.
In Avatar is like one of the heroes in it. Like he's playing against it's a guy whose voice is Batman and a bunch of animated stuff plays the protagonist in it. It's like I have such fond to the point that I bought it on DVD and have watched it a couple of times. I may rewatch it in the next month.
Yeah.
I like that show. I think there's a version of it today that would be like an almost Game of Thronesian type show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because the world is so specific and it's so like sci-fi, but also throwback. And you could do
really throwback to the fucking Plycenian epic.
Dude, Terra Nova is that's like my number one thing from my childhood that I was like, I want to remake that. I want to be the guy who to do that. That would be my Jurassic Park.
I love it. Hey man, more power to you, baby.
I cannot recommend it because I'm sure it's not very good. I'm sure like if you watch it not as a kid, it's not very interesting. But
okay, do you know what my version of that is? You know what? Fuck it. My version of that, Fringe.
I've never seen Fringe.
Dude, I haven't seen all of it. And I remember there being a lot of issues with that show, but fuck if that show wasn't cool, man. That show was so cool. I would love to see another Monster of the Week with these weird ass characters that have all these, the weird evil doctor scientist dad and his son who's they're trying to right the wrongs of his past, but he doesn't remember his past very well. And then I can't remember if she's like FBI or whatever. And then the fucking guy from John Wick, the guy who plays he's also in Lost. The guy who plays the front desk guy.
The concierge?
The concierge.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he's like the FBI director or whatever, and he's phenomenal. That and Lost.
I gotta watch Fringe.
Fringe. I can't speak to how well it has aged because I haven't seen it since I watched it live.
Yeah.
But damn it, I remember thinking it was so cool and liking so much about it, and there were really interesting. Like it was very much okay, how can we build on Lost kind of thing? Like how can we make another Lost? But it was like better than that.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just trying to do that. The things that made that show worse were when it was trying to be Lost too much. The things that made it really cool and interesting was everything that was specific to that.
I think there's a world where you really enjoy Supernatural.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's untrue at all.
Like Supernatural's like I like Supernatural a lot. It is another one of those shows that me and my brother watched together every episode for a long time.
Yeah.
And I've still never seen the last season.
Yeah.
I've seen every single episode of that show. Eventually, so the reason I like Supernatural is its willingness to evolve.
Yeah.
Is like a lesson I learn about it, where it's like it started out as like a pure horror show. Like there's action, but it's a horror mystery.
Yeah.
A pretty scary one too.
Yeah.
And then it evolves into like a horror action show, and then it evolves into a horror action comedy, and then it's an action comedy, and then it's like just kind of a comedy for a while with like action and horror. And then they do a crossover with Scooby-Doo. Which is one of the best single episodes of TV I've ever seen. I think they nail everything about that.
Amazing.
It is a show that I look back on with such fondness, and I've watched the first 5 episodes kind of recently. They hold up. It held my attention. It's so early 2000s. But that's also a show that ran for 15 years on 2 different networks.
Right.
You could watch the evolution of that type of TV because they don't make that type of TV anymore.
No, they really
That
don't.
type of TV does not get that popular with that type of crowd anymore. It doesn't happen. I think there's a world where you really enjoy some Supernatural. We may do a Supernatural based episode and just watch the first 2 or 3 episodes just for funsies.
Yeah.
And maybe
watch the first 2 or 3 episodes of the first season, and then 2 or 3 episodes of one of the very last.
I'll show you. I'll show you the pilot, and then 1 or 2 episodes that I really love from the early horror era, and then we'll watch Scooby Natural.
Yes.
And then that's how we'll do it. And then maybe we'll watch a couple episodes of Fringe because I am very interested in Fringe.
I need to. I might see if I can find it and watch a couple episodes to make sure I'm not completely off base with my memory of it, because I just remember it being really cool. But I was also a preteen when that was coming, or maybe a teen. I don't actually know when that came out. I was young. Young when that show came out.
But man, that's so good. Is there any other like
things
from your childhood, like weird deep cuts, even if you don't know if they hold up? I'm trying to think of the weird stuff.
Sonic Adventure 2 is one of the best games ever.
We didn't talk about video games at all. Lego Star Wars. Mario Kart obviously holds up, but Lego Star Wars are very
Double
fun.
Dash is the best one.
Double Dash is a brilliant game.
I tried playing it. We played it a couple times recently. Wow, the physics are so much different than I remember them.
They're much harder.
They are so much slippier than I remember.
Black Ops 1 Zombies remains the best zombies game. There's a bunch of video games we could talk about. I mean, honestly, that could be a whole episode. It's just like video games we grew up on. Anyway.
And my answer is only ever going to be Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic Adventure 2, and then what's that car one? Fucking Burnout 3. Burnout 3 Takedown. Yeah, well, you and I had
Revenge?
You and I had a good evening playing
Burnout
that for like
3
30 or 40
fucking
minutes.
rips, dude.
That
game is so much fun.
Anyway, so that's kind of our childhood. If you were a child, as we learned, we're not sure. We're gonna have to look up the records, I guess.
I'll have to see. If
this is now an investigation podcast where we search for your past.
Oh, dude, I'm the
you're Kyle XY.
No, wait, no, I definitely have a belly button. It's covered in hair. I can show it to you if you'd like. But yeah, no, I'm Kyle XY. Hi. Call me XY. Kyle XY.
Great. Fantastic.
Anyway. So yeah.
This is our first like topic based one. It's the first time we've not covered a specific movie on here. Let us know if you like these, if you have topic ideas. We have 5 or 6 like random ones we've come up with that we think will be fun little things. But I think these are fun. I think they make for good minisodes, just chit-chatting about stuff we like or stuff we're interested in or the state of movies or whatever.
I think the next one I want to do for this, which I'm just putting this on the pod so we have to do it now, is the one that we've talked about before, doing our Roman Empire. So like the thing, a specific movie thing that we think about all the time.
I think that's a great idea.
So if you guys have any ideas, or if you have your Roman empires, put them in the comments. Put them in the suggestions. We'd love to hear what you think about constantly that maybe not everybody thinks about.
Yes, please.
Because mine's going to get spicy.
I am so excited.
I think you know what mine is.
We've
had this conversation many times.
All right, then we're waiting because I can't think of it. But anyway, we want to do more topic-based episodes. Leave some ideas in the comments of things you'd like to hear us talk about, movie-wise, comic book-wise, video game-wise. Recent things in the news, stuff like that. We want to try to do more of these because they're fun. Sometimes it's fun to not like structured around a specific thing.
Bars.
So anyway, you've got a bunch of stuff you can possibly check out now if you want to go down nostalgia.
Several long-running television series.
Yes, all kinds of stuff. So you should go do that, or don't. I don't know. Live your childhood life.